very first edition of True North. I would like to talk to you about a major pet peeve I have today, and that is moral relativism.
I am defining moral relativism as the position that moral or ethical propositions do not reflect objective moral truths. They instead make claims relative to whatever social, cultural, historical, or personal circumstances exist in the moment. Today we're taught that if it feels good, do it. There is no right or wrong, that there's no accountability other than what laws are imposed upon you if you get caught. This is a result of there being a lack of morals or any kind of judgments that can be agreed upon or laws that can be made. Right, wrong, appropriate, inappropriate, rational, irrational. These judgments are there aren't any. I guess that's my frustration. There's nothing that's applied to all peoples across the board. It is merely what feels good to you at the time, what's appropriate for your personal circumstance at the time. And if you don't deem it's good enough for me or appropriate for my circumstance, then I get punished, but you don't. So we need to start having a set of values, a set of morals, a set of rules and regulations that we can all agree upon, and rules that aren't necessarily man-made, but they can be man-made as long as they're based off of biblical principles. We see time and again societies that as long as they are following biblical principles, they succeed. And as we are witnessing now in America, as soon as you stop following biblical principles, countries fail, societies fail, and America is failing. So it's time to say enough is enough. It's time to push back. It's time to recognize God and His hand in society and in our lives personally, so that we can all get along and agree to the same thing and the same consequences, good or bad, for our actions, and not this whole moral relativism where what's good for you isn't necessarily good for me. So what can we do? We need to start teaching our children. People are taught their beliefs or lack of them starting in the home. That leads into schools and eventually into society, where there's peer pressure and media and all sorts of outside influences. It's taught that because there isn't proof of a God, that humans need to save themselves. This is sad. We as Christians first need to start teaching our children in the home. We can then prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically for the persecution that we will endure. We need to stand as a witness for Christ in all things and in all places. Next, we can pray. We can pray to recognize right from wrong. We can pray not to become complacent. We can pray to not be easily deceived and fall victim to Satan and his many cunning tactics. We can boldly assert ourselves for what is right. If it's Christmas time, say Merry Christmas. If you go to church, tell people you go to church. And while you're asked it, invite that person that you're talking to come with you. Listen to religious music and talk shows. Don't hesitate to offer to pray. Bless your meals no matter where you are. Write congressmen and senators insisting that moral relativism has to stop. Attend school board meetings and town councils. Mostly, just stop. Stop being a silent observer and start being a vocal force for truth, for righteousness. Start speaking up for what you know is right, and mostly for Christ, as He has spoken for you. Start defending Him. Thank you for watching True North. I invite you to leave your comments below. Just remember that there's no reason to be mean. It's always better to be kinder than necessary. We'll see you soon.